Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to Biz Dev Live. I'm so excited that you're here with me. If you are ready for today's show and you're ready to hear from Ginger King, let me know. Say yes down in the comments. Let me know where you're tuning in from, but give me a big yes if you're watching this show. We got Ginger King, and we're going to be talking about mentorship. And, there's a lot of challenges when you get into business, and sometimes you really do need somebody that knows exactly what they're talking about, has been there before, so that you can leap ahead. You can do it on your own, but that can be the slow grow versus getting some help and moving ahead quickly and not being set back so much, right? So that's what we're talking about today's episode. Stick with me. We'll be right back with Ginger King right after the Biz Dev Live theme.
Biz Dev Live, weekdays at 11 Eastern Time, live. Biz Dev Live, weekdays at 11 Eastern Time. Leadership and motivation, empathy and inspiration. Biz Dev Live, business development, not even selling it. Biz D with C, brought to you by Cameron T. Biz D with C, brought to you by Cameron T. This is business development, not even selling it. This is business development, not even selling it. Biz Dev Live. Biz Dev Live. This is business development, not even selling it.
All right, I'm so excited today. We have Ginger King. Ginger King has been passionately creating beauty products from concept to launch for more than 20 years. She is well-versed in innovative concepts, creative product formulation, advanced technology applications, ergonomic package development, and impactful competitive analysis. Ginger has developed over thousands of products from hair care to skin care and sun care to color cosmetics. I'm so excited to get into this with you, Ginger. Thank you and welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so excited. So talk to me a little bit about how you help people right now. So I know that, you are serial entrepreneur. You got a lot of stuff going on. They can find you at Fan Love Beauty. We got Grace Kingdom Beauty. I'm sorry. There's so much, and I'm trying not to misspeak on it, but it's Fan Love Beauty. Yes.
Yes,
fanlovebeauty.com, so people can check that out. We're talking a little bit about Grace Kingdom Beauty as well today in terms of the mentorship kind of thing. Talk to me a little bit how you help people, and then we'll get into some of the backstory.
Sure. There are a lot of people who are in beauty and who wants to have their own beauty business. And this is where I help them from concept to launch, including formulation. It's a total package. A lot of people come to me because I'm a cosmetic chemist, but I know more than just product, because making a product is actually very easy. It's the total business transformation is going to help you.
That's amazing, right? And so, for anybody that I think, I don't care if it's cosmetics, clothing, maybe you want to get into automobile parts, right? The idea with entrepreneurship, and you're on this journey, right, is you got to find people that kind of know what they're doing. I was listening to Think and Grow Rich. So many people had recommended that book to me. And in that book, he talks about the ways that you can acquire knowledge. And you can go and get experience and grind it out, or you can pay for knowledge. And he talked about Ford, right? When Mr. Ford put together the automobile company, he actually got prop behind it. This was fun stuff in the book, because this is stuff that I hadn't heard before, even though it may be general knowledge to some. But he got brought before Congress, and they were trying to make him look simple and silly. And they said, well, you don't know this and you don't know. He said, listen, when I need that knowledge, I push a button and a guy comes through the door and he has that knowledge, right? So you can pay for the knowledge. Folks that have large companies, they're paying for mentorship within the company. When you're an entrepreneur, maybe you pay for entrepreneurship outside of the company in terms of a consultant, coach, that sort of thing. So I thought it was very, very interesting because it's one of these keys, right, to success in life. We do it as kids, right? We go to school and we pay for people to teach us knowledge. We do it, but a lot of times, especially in the public school model, we're not used to paying for it. So when it comes time to be an adult and now, all right, I need to go out and get this knowledge. It doesn't always feel comfortable going and paying an individual person for knowledge, but that is one of the secrets to success is, hey, you have the ability to pool this resource, to bring this resource into you, and it's a power play. I think you got to be careful about it, make sure the person has the right knowledge, right, is the appropriate fit and all that kind of stuff. But I think it is so valuable once you get it in your head, hey, this is something that I can do to kind of fast forward my future. So very exciting that you do this. Talk to me, because I know we talked a little bit about what you want to do and what you were kind of pushed to do by your parents and the community. Talk to me about what Ginger wanted to be when she was growing up and how that story unfolded.
When I was growing up, well, I actually was born into beauty because my mom was the first woman brought she said a boutique from Japan to Taiwan, and I kind of watching her when I was growing up. But I didn't really realize that I wanted to be in beauty when I was 16. That's when I came to America. And in the beginning, I wanted to become a makeup artist. But because of my Asian background, they were like, well, if you don't get a PhD, at least get a master's degree. That's the cultural expectation. So I ended up majoring in chemistry and becoming a cosmetic chemist to fulfill my dream. And I also work at the cosmetic counters so I can play makeup artist.
I love that. So talk to me a little bit about, this sort of dynamic. So you wanted to become a makeup artist, and then the family was saying, yeah, that's not enough.
Correct. That's like more like a passion. It's not where it's gonna lead you to a corporate life.
And I'm just curious too, like, how do you feel about that now, looking back on it?
How do I go back? Actually, I think I made the right decision to becoming a cosmetic chemist rather than just being a makeup artist because I will have more contribution. I know how to make the products better, so make people look even more beautiful. While just being a makeup artist, you can have the creativity to put on the products on people, but you are not a creator.
I love this because, I have this conversation with a lot of young people, a lot of young women in particular, but young people in general. They have a goal. They want to become some role, and it might be a doctor, an engineer, a lawyer, right? We hear that a lot, right? Or it may be, I want to become a nurse, or I want to become some kind of specialized field. And I'm always of the mind, sort of along the lines of, shoot for the stars, if you miss, you'll hit the moon kind of thing. But the opportunities, the doors that it opens up, if you're in one of these professions that you're able to really increase your economic opportunities, you can always pursue the passion side of it. And you can do that almost on your own terms. If you're making money doing the other thing, you've built a business, you have a very good lucrative role with a nice schedule, right? Because I think one of the challenges, like with makeup artists in particular, which is common to, I know the hospitality business really well, and hair care, you're doing Saturdays, you're doing Sundays, but if you have one of these roles where you're inside a lab, and then on your weekends you get to go and do what you love for, you could do it if you want for free, you could have people pay you, right? But you can have that as something where you don't need it to bring in the income. I remember DJing as a kid, and a lot of the love of DJing went out when I started trying to make money out of it, and it became a job. It wasn't so fun anymore, right? So I appreciate that a lot. So talk to me, you pursuing your education, you came to the United States when you were 16. Talk to me about, just the journey, and then like what was going on in college, and then we'll get into like, how you got into your first opportunity after college.
So I came when I was 16. Honestly, the school was very easy for me, so I have a lot of free time. I ended up in the library every single day. I started to read books like how to manufacture cosmetics, and then I also came across Estee Lauder's biography. At the time, I was so inspired. Estee Lauder would be the first person I would say that she really, really inspired me to be really, really in the industry. And I was like, I want to be like her one day, to have such an impactful meaning to the beauty industry. That's my college life.
I love it. I love it. And so as you got through college, you said it was fairly easy for you. So you kind of went through. And I love the fact that you're talking about reading, because I think people miss so often. You go to college and college can provide you a lot, but you need to feed, right? You need to feed the beast in terms of, if you're passionate about something, you got to go and pursue it. I mean, you can, as we were talking about, with Ford, right? You can purchase the knowledge, you can go read and get knowledge that way. There's a lot of different ways to get it. And so you've put the time in to really research the industry. I love that you're inspired by Estee Lauder. So talk to me, you get through college. What's the first step out of college?
The first step, of course, is getting a job, right? My first job was actually in food manufacturing. Dole Foods, they make pineapples, juices,
Yeah.
lettuce, because that was the closest cosmetic sort of related industry I can find, because I was actually analyzing vitamin C's in pineapples.
Well,
And
that's an
yeah,
important point that I thought that was interesting. I was watching one of the videos on your YouTube channel from Daymond John. When you have something like a lipstick, it's edible, right? This is something that has to be something that your body can digest, because obviously it's on your mouth, and if it isn't healthy for you, then it's probably not healthy to put on your mouth.
yeah.
So talk to me a little bit about that, because I'm sure that played into it, right? So you were learned about cosmetics. What do people need to know when they're talking, thinking about cosmetic design?
Well, that was the reason why clean beauty is like a very in demand these days. I know there are a lot of controversy. People say you should be focusing on science. There are people who say clean beauty is more like greenwashing. But at the end of the day, to me, everyone is a consumer. So you do whatever think you is best for you. In terms of facial care or hair care, I'm not too picky whether it's all green or natural. But when it comes to lip care, because the potential of being able to be ingested, I do pay extra attention, just because the fact it could be ingested.
Yeah.
And all those disease or the cancer, everything, you don't know after, like long time after, and it's going to be too late. And so when it comes to cosmetics, I actually take a more of a cautionary role rather than everything is science based. I love science. Science is good, but there are things that you have to be careful. You don't want to pay for the price for, and then you pay the price later on for that's something that you didn't know. You didn't know.
And so I know people can really get a lot of value from your experience. Talk to me about, you get out of college, what's your first, when did you first get into being an entrepreneur?
After college, I've always been in corporate. I was in like all of the corporates until in 19 no in 2018 I came out to be my own entrepreneur, because there was a opportunity to co-create a brand with a friend of mine. And then at the time also I has been watching Shark Tank, and that's really really triggered the entrepreneurial bug in me, and that's when I started out to become an entrepreneur.
I love that. And I you're obviously a FUBU Daymond John fan, right? Because I see that all over, right? Talk to me, what sort of inspires you from Daymond John's story? What's been the thing that sort of drew you into him? And we'll get into the business that you launched, but I'm really interesting because obviously he's endorsed you. I'll play that video in just a second. I'll get that queued up. But talk to me a little bit about your love for Daymond John.
I start watching Shark Tank, and Daymond is the one that actually speaks to me the most because of branding. And because of his background, he's been very humble. He has very humble beginning, and until this day he's still a very humble person, and he understands the power of touch people's mind. And that's also why Leonard Lauder is also another person who is extremely well doing this well in emotional branding, because once you can capture the person's mind, you get the person forever.
What's up? It's People Shark Daymond John here. I want to give a testimony about my girl Ginger King, aka the Beauty Shark. Somebody who goes out there and not only keeps learning their craft and masters their craft, but they also want to give back and teach others. That shows the passion for their craft. Very hardworking and dedicated person. I really wish I was in the beauty industry because we wouldn't even be having this conversation because I would snatch her up. She's the biggest secret out there. But anyway, as an entrepreneur, as an entrepreneur, she's an amazing, dedicated, hardworking, educated, expert in her field, and that's why I love her.
Wow, that's great. Great testimony from Mr. Daymond John there. So incredible. So talk to me a little bit about what did you do in 2018? What did you start up?
I started with my consulting company, and also I started a brand with a friend of mine. But the brand we probably lasted for 3 years. We decided to close, but I continue to do my consulting business.
Very cool. And so, talk to me about a little some of the successes that you've had with the consulting business. I know that you have put so many products out into the workplace and all that. Talk to me about some of the successes in terms of working with people and providing them that mentorship.
I help a lot of entrepreneurs to start their own line, and some of them are actually awards winning, have multiple awards, and they are in multiple different retailers as well. And it's actually, to me, their success is my success, even though I just launched my own brand in 2020. But I love seeing whoever I help, I have an impact on them.
I love that. I love that. And obviously, you've put a lot of stuff out into the field. Is there like, I have these takeaways for us here today, and I'm going to jump into them here. But in terms of consistency and persistency are the keys to success. How are you helping people, with their consistency and persistency? Obviously, you've been consistent and persistent in your career. How are you helping people with their consistency and persistence?
Usually when you work with someone, you are probably the one that have to follow up on people, right, to get whatever you want. But when you work with me, I'm kind of the opposite. I work with like as your accountability partner. I will actually like nudge you, hey, so when are you launching your new product? Hey, did you do this yet? So it's more of I take accountability, responsibility when you work with me.
No, I absolutely love that because we all need, I've talked a lot about this on this show. Sometimes it's not even so much and you have amazing knowledge in your industry from years of being in it and education and book knowledge. But sometimes it's not even about that I need to be told what to do. It's that I need somebody to hold me accountable to do it. I need to be in a position where somebody is making sure that my feet are held to the fire and that I'm following up. And sometimes it's about, well, that's, what is the most important thing? All right, I know all these things that I'm supposed to do. Where do I get started, right? And then staying consistent with whatever I've started now, making sure to bring that forward and stay consistent with it in a way that makes sense for the business is really, really, really important, right? Talk to me, just in terms of, being flexible in plans. What's the message you have for people on that?
Well, the flexibility in plans, just as I mentioned earlier, I wanted to become a makeup artist, but because of my family, I become a cosmetic chemist. So that is a trait of flexibility. You still get to where you want to go, but it's just changing the plan. It's like there are many ways to go to your destination. You can go by train, you can go by car, you can go by airplane. So there is more than one way to get to where you want, but you just need to be flexible. Sometimes you need to take a detour.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think people can be hard on themselves too, right? We're all people. As much as I do this show, I do another show with a gentleman named Steve Spiro, the Master Connection or so. And time after time, whether it's on BizDev Live, Connector Show, my own coaching that I receive, working with other people, talking to employees. I have a lot of staff that work with a hospitality company that I have. It's understanding that we're all human, and exercise, wellness, mental wellness, right? It's all a part of the picture. And if you're too hard on yourself, or you're too um, unforgiving in yourself, and you're demanding perfection, well, then you're never going to get something done, right? It's just, you're going to automatically fail. It was talking to somebody about goal setting, right? And so you don't want to, if you're saying you want to exercise every day, you don't want to say, in terms of a goal, exercise like a specific amount and say, I'm going to do it 100% every single day, because the moment you miss a day, you failed, and now you're like off track, right? But if you're setting a goal along the lines of, I want to be more healthy, and I'm going to be able to do X, Y, Z in this amount of time, that's a more healthy goal, because it's more of a healthy expectation. If you miss a day, you can fit it in on another day and still be on track with your plan. And giving ourselves compassion in our planning is really, 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 really important. I think that amazing point. So talk to me about mentorship. I know Daymond John has been a mentor to you, but who are other mentors in your life that you would love to shout out, and how have they helped you?
So besides mentor, I would say Grant Cardone, because Grant Cardone, he actually kind of opened my eyes to see the sales aspect. Because whether you have the salesperson title or not, everybody just they are doing selling. You sell for everything that you want to do, and his techniques of sales is phenomenal. And he's also the one that opened up my 10x thinking. He's known as the Mr. 10x. So he's really helping in that aspect. Also, Brendan Dawson. Brendan Dawson is Grant Cardone's partner. He is the king of scaling, and that's what I'm focusing right now. They always say collaboration is the new currency. So, how are you gonna shorten your path to success? Is you need to draft if somebody who have done that before, so their resume becomes your resume.
And in your own life, who are the mentors? Because I mean, you pushed through education, you jumped into corporate. I'm sure you had mentors in your personal life. Who are some of the people that sort of helped you along in your career and your education? I don't know if you want to shout out mom and dad, or family members for their help along the way, but who are some of the other mentors? Because mentors, right? They're not only like Daymond John and Grant Cardone, who are these really incredible. Not only are they incredible entrepreneurs in their own right, but social media, just they've mastered a lot of different things, and obviously we can tune into them, and they're very popular. But I always love to give credit to those people in our life that sort of keep us on the straight and narrow, help us out with the mental health when need be. I've had some really good bosses and managers that really help me sort of see the world in a different way, and in a lot of different ways, they helped prepare me for the mentors that helped me in other ways with business into the future, because I could understand more about professionalism and what I needed to do in life, right?
Actually, anyone can be your mentor. Even the person that you don't like can be a mentor, because
Yeah.
you can learn what you don't want to be, right? So I mean, there isn't really like a strict rule of who has been mentoring me. I think I learn from everyone, good or bad. But learning from people who have done it when it comes to your business, that is extremely critical though, because there are so many people out there, they are also called their gurus for whatever, but you need to make sure they have done what they have been teaching.
Yeah, I think that's incredibly important, right? Is
Yeah.
does this person have experience in the area that they're teaching? I often compare it to, you got folks out here that are, social media gurus, and they're going to help you uh, get all of your social media profiles. They're going to blow up your Instagram. They're going to blow up your YouTube. They're going to, help you so much. Meanwhile, I'm looking at them and I'm like, well, if you could do that for me, why haven't you done it for you?
Correct.
And I think that's one of the strong things when you got a Grant Cardone. I know Grant Cardone has talked about it, and people that have talked to Grant Cardone. You got Gary Vaynerchuk, right? Um, these entrepreneurs, and they will consult, and you spend a lot of money to get a little piece of their time. And when we're talking about a lot of money, I mean, we're talking about in the tens of thousands, if not more, to get an hour of time. Why is it worth it? Because in a matter of minutes, this person can tell you the right person to talk to, because they can point you to the person that does it for them, and it's working for them because they're all over the place, right? They can point immediately to the successful people in their network to connect you with. They can, if you're looking for this, they can take that information, say, all right, well, this is what you need to do with that. This is who you need to speak to. This is the process. Read this book. That's what helped me to do that, right? And so that's what you're paying for. I love that. So talk to me a little bit about, if somebody wants to work with you, Ginger, what does that process look like? How do they get in touch with you? And who's like the ideal person that you would love to be connected with to help them out?
Okay. So I usually would like them to start with the call with me for an hour. I charge for that call, but the call can be credited back to whatever future service that they want to do with me. The reason why I have to charge for that 1 hour call is because you don't pay attention. And
Yeah.
obviously I don't have that so much time to give
Well, and, and let
everyone
me
an
and let me
hour.
just and let me just say something here, because I've been doing stuff in the nonprofit space. We help out children in public school, and I see it with adults, and I see it with kids. And I bring up the nonprofit stuff because we provide a program for a lot of times. A lot of the services that we're offering are they're free. We're in a public school, and we're just trying to help out high school students figure out their college and career plans, get them more excited about the process, start connecting right now with 20 years from now. And the experience that we had, whether it was training them to take SATs or doing things around college workshop trips, if they paid nothing, their head wasn't in it. And so you don't want to make it unaffordable, right? That doesn't work. But we had a lot more success when we were asking the children and the parents to chip in for these activities, because suddenly they were invested, they were in it. And so I would say, if you don't have skin in the game, right, even for yourself, I think it's really good, if you're watching this now, you're watching this show now, just knowing, hey, if I'm going to take a course, if I'm going to do something, if it is for free, how do I put skin in the game? Because if I don't have skin in the game, I'm not passionate about the outcome. If I'm betting on it, if I got money riding on it, if I put something into it, and it doesn't necessarily have to be money. It could be an investment, saying, when you go to the library and you're opening a book and you're investing that time, you're probably passionate, right? You're wanting to dive in and deeply discover. So you're investing your whole body and your whole self into it. In Zoom world, where we're all, tuning in virtually, it's very easy to tune out. And I think that skin in the game thing is a big deal. So I love that you said that, because, you know, there's probably, you know, consultants and people that want to, you know, charge for their services, and they're probably asking themselves, do I charge for that first call? And I think, you know, they got to listen to what you're saying here and listen to what we're saying here. If somebody doesn't have skin in the game, you know, they're not invested. And so if you get that investment early on, are you going to be more likely to have success? I would say so, right? So I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I thought that was a great point. Keep going.
Yeah, I mean, to me, that's a micro commitment. That's also how I filter out how committed you are when you tell me, yeah, I'm really, really wanting to have my own beauty brand. If you cannot do the 1 hour call, you are not serious enough.
Yeah. Yeah. And when you talk about getting mentorship in an industry, you know, if you're really serious about it, $250 is not a big commitment. I think, you know, you're right on the right page there. It's a micro commitment. So amazing. Thank you so much for doing this with me, Ginger. Talk to me about the different websites a little bit. We'll shout those out, and I'll drop those into the comments here for the different channels that we're on. But talk a little bit about the different brands. Obviously, we've been mentioning Grace Kingdom Beauty as the advisement, but also talk about your other brand that you're trying to promote that actually has products for sale.
Okay, so Grace Kingdom Beauty is my consulting service where I help you to build your own beauty line from concept to launch, including formulation. Now, I have a lot of people ask me, can you also help me after I launch my brand? So I have to walk my talk. I launched my own brand in 2020. It's not in competition with any of the clients because this is a very special brand. It's called Fan Love Beauty. It's out of fan love, and it was inspired by Daymond because there was one time I was with him. He took out a lip balm in front of me and used. I was like, Daymond, if it's something that close to you, that's in your pocket on your lips, it has to be mine. And because I care for his health, so I wanted to create the healthiest lip balm ever. So it's none of the best stuff that you probably can imagine in a lot of lip balms, and it's all of those good superfood that's good for you because the lip balms can be ingested. And that's how I developed Fan Love Beauty. And one unique thing about Fan Love Beauty is I actually invite you to create beauty products with me if there's a certain person or group that they are known and they inspire, educate, or entertain the society. And that's the basis of Fan Love Beauty.
That is amazing. And so how would they go about, they want to, you know, create something out of fan love? They just go onto the website and contact you?
Yeah, they can just write to me to my social media, to my LinkedIn, wherever, and then they can just tell me. And if I feel compelled enough, I'll co-develop the product, and it will be branded under Fan Love Beauty, though.
That's
And then
amazing.
because you are a fan, you are very passionate about it, so you get to play as creative director for that particular product.
I love that. And I think this is like the best time ever. We got a lot of things going on in the world, but when you hear about things like this and, you know, potentials for partnership, you know, it's easier to publish a book than ever before. It's easier to publish your videos and thoughts to the web. You know, we have so much access. And so just getting the opportunity, the education that a service like this exists, because maybe you got a job over here and, you know, makeup, you know, isn't what you want to devote your life to, but, oh, wait, I really am passionate about this. You know, I have a assistant in my office. We do staffing, hospitality, but she buys a ton of makeup products. She loves doing makeup. And so somebody can pursue that passion, right? That side hustle without it being something that they have to go get a master's degree in chemistry in order to do it. I love that opportunity. Thank you so much for doing this show with me today, Ginger. Again, let people know where they can find you. I encourage you, if you're on LinkedIn, connect with Ginger King on LinkedIn. Go to gracekingdombeauty.com. Go set up a call, get some skin in the game. Let's go, right? Tell people where they can find you one more time, and I'll leave you with the last words, and I'll play us off with the BizDev theme. Grace. Ginger.
Of course, LinkedIn or my Instagram is the Beauty Shark Ginger, and I do answer all my DMs.
Love it. Thank you very much. Everybody have an amazing day, and I will see you next week.
Biz Dev Live, Biz Dev Live. Weekdays at 11 Eastern Time, live. Biz Dev Live, Biz Dev Live. Weekdays at 11 Eastern Time. Leadership and motivation, empathy and inspiration, Biz Dev Live, Biz Dev Live. Business development, not even selling it. Biz D with C, brought to you by Cameron T. Biz D with C, brought to you by Cameron T. This is business development, not even selling it. This is business development, not even selling it. Biz Dev Live, Biz Dev Live.